airports. That I don't really have an explanation for. So I think I can't imagine why that would be the case. Um, and yeah,
That's something that makes me think he has died. Out of all the evidence, that's the only thing that makes me think he has died. Right? Because that seems just like not strategic, just angry, um, and very light, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? So
Well,
yeah,
it's a very very strange thing.
just to add a bit of context to what you guys are saying, the reports came out earlier that they targeted with 30 strikes. I don't know how big the ammunitions they were using at the time, but they're claiming that Israel targeted them with 30
Oh
strikes.
my God, guys! I got kicked out. Jonah got me ambushed out of the space. He tried to regime change the space. I got kicked out. I was like a little homeless person. I could hear you all, but I couldn't even come up and I couldn't let you know nothing. Oh my God,
well,
I'm
how
back
the hell
now
did you
anyway.
get the
Sorry,
take?
continue the
We did a
discussion.
hostile takeover, and you managed to
I, w-
get back.
I wasn't a part of it. I wasn't a part of it.
Oh no,
I woke up one of his team members and I was like, listen, freaking, you're a delegate, he's H1B. Get on there and get me back on, even as speaker. I ain't going to sit downstairs over there with listeners. I need to be up there. I want to be able to tell them because I've just left them. So then, poor guy, he woke up and he was trying to figure out how to do it without crashing the space. And it took about 15 minutes, but we got here in the end.
okay. So we got no co-hosts at the moment, right? We just got so no one can bring anyone up. It's just us, right?
Well, I can't see any mic requests, but hang on, my co-host here is giving me co-host. Let me see if this works. But I have to be really good because I've joined via the web. So because I've joined via the web, it could crash. I could get kicked out again at any time. Elon's too busy.
Can you make me a co-host? Oh, here we go. I see something. Suleiman has
That's the
made me a
H1B, who's the
co-host.
delegate, has made you co-host.
We've got an intern.
Yeah.
Be careful, Beatrice, because Simon led this last coup. He did. I think he was in charge of this last coup here.
Nah. Simon wouldn't. It was Jonah. I seen it. It came up on
Maybe
my
it was
screen.
Jonah. Maybe
hold on. I've got that thing on my phone now where it keeps unmuting me. This is like a Pegasus interception.
That's Jonah. So just before I got kicked out, right, before you came up, Simon, I was like, oh, guys, I can't invite anybody and I can't see mic requests. So if you want me to bring you up, just tag me. And as long as you look half normal, I'll check your profile, obviously. Then I'll DM you because I ain't going to open my DMs to anybody otherwise, right? I'll DM you the link to the mic. And then some monarchist freaking tags me and says, I'd like to come up and debate. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not having no debate with monarchists. Like I've been going for 28 hours straight. So then they started tagging me in with rude words and like all these monarchists piled on the thread. And that's when I got kicked out. So I think Joel was colluding with them, with the monarchists.
That's the problem. Don't mess with those monarchists.
I'll let you finish your discussion and then I think I'll remember the questions. But thanks for continuing with it, guys.
I got an issue with my mute button.
Yeah, your H1B hire Simon started panicking, and Joel started panicking, so I had to kind of calm him down, bring him back down and say, look, guys, it's cool, we got this, we don't need to panic, we know what we need to do, we just give him the news, give him a recap, and just keep it simple.
It's a good one. Yeah.
And now we lost Simon. Oh no, did I chase him away with that one? What's going on?
No, thanks for that, Nathan. I think he dropped because he was having a problem with his new mute button. Now I'm on the web. I think I'll be able to see some of these. Oh, I can't see him though. I was going to say I can see some of the mic requests, but I really can't. So,
is the intern still up to bring Simon back up? Oh, great. Looks like it's the four of us now. Nathan, you have any breaking news? I'm not following the channels for the news.
I talked about. Hey Nathan, real quick, did anybody talk much about what the FBI director, our distinguished Indian Mr. Kash Patel, is talking about? The credible threat of, and it could be like false flag of internal sleeper cells.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I just saw something where there's a YouTube channel. He's reporting that Kash Patel is saying high alert. The FBI is on high alert for sleeper cell activity, which that would surprise me. Very possible false flag, and these would be, of course, those these so-called Iranian sleeper cells.
Just real quickly. Sorry, I have a quick update. So the attack on Bahrain, apparently the Bahrainis are saying it was targeting the American section at the Bahrain airport.
I just believe that a lot of those strikes on those military bases are for logistic support, fuel storage facilities, war reserve stock, and stuff like that. Because they're
Andrew,
very.
do these bases have like landing strips, or do any of them have it, or do they have to use the airport?
Yeah, which ones I don't know, Joe, have, but most do have the actual military landing strip. But the concern with me for these civilian airports, people don't realize how much we use civilian airports for military airlift. Even we contract commercial carriers, air carriers, and shipping carriers for massive military logistic support.
Yeah. So
just real quickly, sorry, Joe. Beatrix, are you back?
I am, but I'm too scared to freaking speak, just in case it kicks me out again. Oh my god.
I was just gonna say, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you like the statements that are not really breaking news, and I would just do the breaking news, but I'll send you like the statements if you want, if you're able to keep up on them.
Yeah, I'm trying to sit really still and not really move very much either. I'm so scared he's gonna kick me out. I wouldn't mind if Suleiman was here, but oh my god, because every time my screen moves, I think, oh my god, something's gonna happen. Oh, it's responsibility. And you know what he's gonna say when he comes back? Oh my god, I ran it for hours, and then one day you give it to a chick, she can't even hold it down for 3 hours.
No,
yeah.
we got your back. We got your back, Beatrix.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, Nathan, send it to me, please. I don't know. I'll let you guys continue with.
All right, now it seems like everything's working.
Any more news about Khomeini?
I sent you a statement. I didn't want to read it out. I thought I'd let you look at it first. It's not specifically about him, but to do with family members. So this is... Go on.
I'll have a look. Let me have a look. Okay, I'll mute myself. I'll have a look.
I think we're good.
I mean, it's been a really long time since they announced it till now, and still no confirmation. And since Iran has a succession in place, like, I don't know why they would not announce it.
Yeah, exactly. Good point, Joe. And remember, like when Bin Laden, man, it was many sources coming out. Oh, here's the evidence. Here's the evidence. Here's the evidence. Pictures. But this has been very quiet.
Yeah, like what evidence would they have? You know, like,
well, my president has a picture. It's good enough for me.
we had pictures of WMDs also, though, Andrew.
I do. No, they did. They did. I'm telling you, they had pictures. They had the evidence. That's what they need, and that's what the people run with.
Yeah, remember the trucks that were carrying steel pipe, but they were actually they were WMDs.
Oh God! Yeah. Oh my dear God!
Do you remember the ones with the tarps? And that's the ones
Yes.
that passed around to all the Americans.
Yes. You remember that? That got a lot of mileage. Figuratively speaking, no pun.
Yeah, I remember them clearly. I remember I was eating dinner and it was on the news, and I was like, "Oh wow, they do have it." You know,
Same thing happened to me. There it is.
So, Joe, the markets are going to be seriously volatile next week.
I don't get it. But why is Bitcoin
I'm trying to sell
up
this
so
shit
much
again.
after going down to 63? I don't get it.
Like,
Like I know why gold would go up, and I know sometimes people say it's gold, but it hasn't traded like gold, and it literally went down to it went. Oh, by the way, I was watching the charts when this happened. When I saw the chart, I went to X and I typed in Iran because I was like something just happened. But there was a huge trade right before. Again,
Big dump. Big dump.
and there was a dump about 2 minutes before the attack. Right, so that's
Before, of
someone in
course.
the inner circle. Yeah, I think it was $180 million short that opened for about 10 minutes.
Well, hey, you guys are the experts. We should expect a bunch of people buying on the, what's it called, buying shorts or betting, hedging, that there's going to be a fall, a drop. Options on the short, right? The big short, as we call it.
I don't think it's an obvious trade, actually. I think that this is just going to be massive volatility. I don't think it's an obvious trade at all.
Yeah, it's just going to go up and down because it's not to us. It's very serious. To most people, it's not too serious because they see like, okay, it's not going to be any worse than this, and um, if he fell, then things will, another 2 weeks or so, things will be normal or whatever. I think that's what a lot of people are going to think. But then there's also other people who are going to be like, no, this is going to be a long term. So it's just going to be a war between bulls and bears, and it's going to be very difficult to pick the right number.
Beatrix, are you here?
So we got confirmation. I'm not sure if this is news that you've already covered, but Iran state media has confirmed that the daughter and grandchild of Khamenei have been killed. So that's confirmed on Iranian state
But
media.
Simon, I'm seeing posts, but I'm not actually seeing state media because I've been sent a clip and I was just listening to this clip. Can you hear me? Oh my God, if this thing
We
keeps
can hear you.
moving
Yeah.
on. Yeah. And Avi sent me this clip, and I think it's ABC News. And Khamenei is in good health. And I'll just play this clip really quickly. It's literally 24 seconds.
As we speak of Iran, were both targeted by these attacks. Can you confirm that the Ayatollah is still the leader and in power of Iran right now? Thanks to God, they are all safe and sound. They're all safe and sound. And are they still communicating and running the country as we speak and determining which counterstrikes and military operations are coming from Iran at this moment? I can assure you that the system is working because our system is very sophisticated. It is rooted in our identity, and it is based on a popular.
That confused me a little bit. Thanks for sending that, Abby. That's the Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson, and I think he's on ABC News, because he says they're all safe and well, right? But then he says the system is working. And I remember you talking about that. Was it you, Simon, a few days ago, where you were saying that?
So Iran has contingency leaders. Oh shit. So Iran, they have contingency leaders. If Khamenei were to die, somebody else would take his place, and they have 4 layers of this. So there's still 3 or 4 other people who they would delegate the leadership to if something were to happen to their leader. As of right now, there's reports that Khamenei has died, but that's been American reports. There hasn't been an official Iranian report saying that he has died. And, I mean, it's not uncommon for the Iranians to, like I said yesterday or this morning, say somebody died and they pop up 3 days later. So it's still unknown if Khamenei has actually killed or not. And there's, I don't know, I'm looking on X, and there's like mixed reviews. There's Iranians that are celebrating in the street, and there's, there's people partying here. And I'm not sure the general. I mean, I don't know why people would be partying in the streets right now if Tehran's being bombed. So I don't even know if this is like real. It says 3 hours ago, but I don't even know if this is real or not. So it's kind of hard to determine. It's an Iranian woman. She supports Trump. This is the Dubai International Airport in UAE. That thing's been hit. He's not even 100% sure on the Ayatollah being dead. And why the fuck would we take Greenland? Just a dumbass. Make sure they did a documentary on that Somali and Minnesota shit, but I've been told he's not really, I've seen that he's not really that smart of a person.
American lives for what? For regime change? For a war that the president's own top military advisor has warned will be incredibly dangerous? For a war built on lies? For a war that won't make us safer? I want to be clear. The United States had a deal that could have prevented Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. That was Obama's nuclear deal with Iran, and Trump blew that deal up. And
yeah, he did. He didn't basically try to give them the same exact deal again, and they're like, "Good, fuck you."
Diplomacy to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. It is reckless and it is dangerous. It is a betrayal of the president's duty to uphold the Constitution and a betrayal of the American people. Your I
don't care for Elizabeth Warren, though. She's kind of annoying.
Leave Iran when they say that they only want their only nuclear ambition is for civilian reasons, and when they say they are treating their population well. Why should the US believe that when clearly they're not?
Put it the other way, why should Iran believe the USA when the USA has always said it wants to have peace with Iran? USA has always said it wants to have talks with Iran. Oman bravely and very effectively agreed to host this latest round of negotiations in Geneva, and they obviously entered the talks in good faith, and one assumed that they believed the US were also in good faith. Clearly they were not. Surely international law matters, illegality matters, human rights matter, human lives matter, and so when the first bombardment is on a primary school in Iran and 50 primary school age girls are killed because of this bomb, and then all the rest of it spirals out of control, more lives lost, more pain, more horror, and a great deal of money being made by arms manufacturers all around the world. Can't we in this country do something to try and bring about peace there by persuading the US to go back to the negotiating table with Iran as quickly as possible?
I don't know if we're probably past negotiations at this point. It doesn't matter. Israel's not going to stop bombing them. So, I mean, what reason to have to back off and let Israel continue to fight with us. Weakest fucking USA channel I've ever heard of. Them niggas don't even sound like they believe that shit at all. Got this lady around selling flowers too, but moment of two consecutive Iran missiles. A moment of two consecutive Iran missiles hitting Tel Aviv. Is that it in the background? Oh, damn. I did mess up. Oh, shit. This is... Yeah, I'll say this is Dubai. Iranian drone hits high-rise building in Bahrain. Yeah, but they bombed a school, bro. You're mad at the bombing of a presidential building in Bahrain? They just killed this bombed a school and killed like 80 people. I mean, the news coverage on here is a lot better than it was last night because that shit was trash last night. Or this morning, early as fuck this morning. Oh, fuck. That's somebody. Oh, wow. Somebody's in that hotel where that fucking shit. That's wild. Fuck. These kids are celebrating. What about the kids that just fucking died this morning? Are them kids celebrating? Yeah, and this is them. Said they declare closure of the Strait of Hormuz, so gas prices, food, shit about to start going up like crazy.
No ship in every type is not allowed to pass the Strait of Hormuz is forbidden. No ship in every type, international ship. This is Sepah Navy, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy. From now on, all navigating through the Strait of Hormuz is forbidden. No ship in every type is not allowed to pass from the Strait of Hormuz till next notice. This is Sepah Navy, out. Attention all ships. This is Sepah Navy, Iran's Islamic.
Yeah, man, they shut that shit down. Well, I don't know if this is. It says it was from Iran, so. This looks like propaganda, I'm not gonna lie. This looks like propaganda, bro. Yeah, I mean, that's where all the reports have been coming from. It's been saying, yeah, there's a lot of media saying that they're just attacking these cities fucking all willy-nilly, fucking indiscriminately, but they've all, everybody's been saying they're military installations and shit. Yeah, see, this is what I was telling my girl. Could be activation of sleeper cells throughout the country. You never know what the fuck's gonna happen now. Hopefully not, but it's definitely something to worry about. Especially if this conflict goes on longer than. I mean, hopefully it doesn't last any time at all. Wish this shit would just fucking end, but. That's the same building, man. That's a fake account. Yeah, that's a crazy statement. So kids have anything to do with this? 48 students killed and 48 injured. Okay, I said 80-something people died, but 88 people were either killed or injured. It's just a fucking school, bro. All girls school, by the way. Yeah, we voted for this shit. No wars. There's no fucking benefit to us attacking Iran whatsoever, bro. There's no benefit. They're not attacking the countries. They're attacking the U.S. installations inside these countries. I mean, this isn't something we can sustain long term either. I mean, yeah, we're stopping a lot of missiles from hitting, but we only have so many missiles, bro. And yeah, this is an image from Tel Aviv.
בנהג ובסריקה במבנה. עד כאן.
חולצו כל הלכודים?
ובסריקות. עדיין בסריקות.
The United States to be polite. It will be better for yourself and the country you represented. Thank you. I have one word only. I advise to the representative of the United States to be polite. It will be better for yourself and the country you represented. Thank you.
The representative of the United States has asked for the floor to make a further statement.
Frankly, I'm not going to dignify this with another response, especially as this representative sits here in this body representing a regime that has killed tens of thousands of its own people and imprisoned many more simply for wanting freedom from your tyranny. Thank you, Mr. President.
I have one word only.
There was no proof that they killed tens of thousands of people. There's reports saying it was like 3,000. And then a lot of them were Mossad agents or people that were propped up by the Israeli and American government. That's good. Spaces, minimum impact operations. White House and Trump probably he looked like he over there asleep, bro. Knocked out right there, bro. Look like goddamn. Look like he's been up for 42 hours. Marco Rubio right here.
And many civilians elsewhere,
and the family of the Pakistani national who was killed during attacks on the United Arab Emirates earlier today. President, the purposes and principles of the UN Charter are inviolable and sacrosanct. We offer our condolences and sympathies to civilians caught in the middle of these violent acts. Our thoughts go out to the school children in Iran and many civilians.
We're condemning the action. Accidents, condemning the actions. Looks like a bunch of people are gathered in Times Square to protest the war. Yeah, nobody wants this. 80% of Americans didn't want this shit, bro. I wonder if people are protesting in other places too. Oh, U.S. Capitol Street, no, they should have been shut down. That's for the operation. Yeah, that shit's fucking funny, man. I cannot. Well, if we stayed the fuck out of people's fucking countries, and our people wouldn't be able to be kidnapped by anybody. If we just stayed where the fuck we're supposed to be, whether that's on a U.S. base somewhere or on fucking American soil our fucking selves, and we wouldn't have these fucking issues. People wouldn't get kidnapped. People wouldn't get held hostage, bro. Like,
I'm gonna push you. You're gonna push me down.
Thank you.
We gotta go work.
All right.
I gotta go to work.
Already happened.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Russia condemns. Of course, Russia's gonna.
Unprovoked act of armed aggression against a sovereign and independent UN member state in violation of the Charter of the organization and of the fundamental principles of international law. They are openly aimed at further interfering in the internal affairs of Iran and at destroying a state that has found disfavor with the West. The US and Israel's irresponsible step, reckless step, as we warned previously, has already led to a sharp escalation of the situation across the region. Bahrain, Jordan, Qatar, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and Syria and Saudi Arabia have all been affected. And those countries that have repeatedly...
Yeah, sure. You want, boy? What do you want? Something to eat? Alright. I'll figure it out. Close the door, bro.
On Arabic media in Arabic chats is that Bibi is dead, and I was like, you what? And they're like, yeah, we got rumors that Netanyahu's dead, so I don't know what's going on.
So I found the link to Fars News. I believe you might be, the reason why you can't find it, it's because I believe it's an Arabic one or Persian written station. So I'm going to send you the link directly to the station if you want to check it out for yourself. Because I actually found the original post. It's actually, I believe it's written in Arabic or Persian. I can't tell. I'm not too sure.
So yeah, Al Jazeera has confirmed that Iranian state media has confirmed not about Khomeini but about the daughter and grandchild.
Yeah, sorry, that's confirmation about the relatives.
Guys, just really quickly, for the guys on YouTube, I'm so sorry. Only Suleiman can stop the crackling, and he's literally going to be an hour or so before he comes back. So I won't be able to stop it, and I don't want to wake him up because he hasn't slept in almost 2 days. So I'm really, really sorry. And obviously I didn't see your chat because I was busy just trying to get onto the space again in a stable way. So I really apologize. If you can bear with it, please maybe just turn the volume down or something. And as soon as Suleiman's available, I'll get him to refresh it. I'm so sorry. But if not, obviously, please do come to the X space. where on the X space, and that might be clearer. Although I can just about hang on to the X space. I'm not sure what luck you're going to have. But yeah, please do try. Thank you.
Also, just a bit of breaking news. So we got reports of airstrikes in Qom, central Iran. Also in Sabalan Square in Tehran. And there was one more. Sorry, let's see if I can find it. It's gone. Let me find it. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, every single report I see, or even on TV, Fox News, everyone, they all talk about an Israeli official confirmed. There's like no other source for this except Israel, whether Khamenei's dead or not.
Also, there were reports of Bahrain being targeted. I don't know what it is, but they're really, I guess, they're getting taught a lesson for housing U.S. military hardware and equipment because they're just being smashed hard tonight.
I don't know if this is true or not. There's no fucking report saying this is true.
Offended me, would you apologize?
No, I mean, I don't think so.
Okay, then I won't apologize for this.
But like, I think in the
A month ago.
Of the trust of the countries of the region. This is the betrayal of the whole UN system because the main pillar of the UN system, the UN Charter, is the provision of the use of force. And for a second launching an act of aggression against another member of the United Nations. So I think what is at stake is not only the security and peace of the region and that of the Iran, but also the whole fabric of international law and the normative system that has been created by the United Nations Charter.
With the escalations ramping up to an unprecedented level, to what extent do you think this confrontation can go for the days and maybe weeks down the road?
We don't know, because you see, as I said, this is something that is imposed on Iran. We never sought war. We were going to resolve this issue diplomatically. And this was the demand of the whole countries of the region and the international community. So this was started by the United States, and we believe that it is just to advance the wings of the Israeli regime. And I think this war would not serve the interests of the American people. This is against their interests, but this is what they chose to do. And I think the consequences would be very dire for everyone. As I already said, just as part of a single attack this morning on a primary school in Minab, more than 61 innocent girls were killed and maimed, and still more than 70 innocent ones are under the rubble.
There has been also a widespread condemnation by regional countries about this attacks of Iran to the U.S. military bases in the region. So the question is, what is Iran's reasoning behind it?
I think they're not really coming under attack by Iran. We have said once and again, and I would like to repeat that we are friendly with all countries of the region. We have proven that we trust our friends in the region. That's why we try to get together with the countries of the region in furtherance of this diplomatic process. The problem is that the United States is conducting this war of aggression at the cost of everyone, including the countries of the region. Under international law, any place, any location, any logistical support that are given to the aggressor are a legitimate target for the victim state. So we are not attacking any country in the region. We are friendly with all countries of the region. What we are doing is just taking defensive actions. We are defending ourselves against attacks by Americans and by the Zionist regime. And as you know, many of these bases, although they are part of the countries of the region's territories, but they are completely controlled by the United States, and they are used, or better to say, abused by the United States in order to launch an act of aggression against another country of the region.
Is it like a credible claim to put forth that in the days ahead we may see a continuation of Iran's attacks to the US bases in the region?
One thing is for sure, we would continue defending ourselves with all force. We are entitled, we are responsible for the safety and security of our people, and we have every right under international law to defend Iran against this act of aggression.
Have you received or initiated any sort of contact with the mediating countries such as Oman to settle down the issues?
This is a serious issue, and I think now the whole situation is different from yesterday. As you know, the mediator was involved in this very difficult process. We appreciate what Oman and other countries of the region and our neighbors did during the past 1 month. They really tried to convince Americans not to take the path of confrontation and bullying, but unfortunately it seems they failed. So what we are doing right now is to focus on defending our national integrity and Iran's territory against this act of aggression.
And what is your assessment about the targeted areas and damages caused?
I think our people understand very clearly that we did whatever we could, whatever was at our disposal to resolve this issue diplomatically. It was not Iran's fault. It is simply an excuse put forward by the Americans. They said 9 months ago that they obliterated Iran's nuclear program. And still they are repeating the same. They are talking about Iran's ballistic missiles. They are talking about some other excuses. They are all big lies put forward to justify this act of aggression. So our people are very clear in their mind that
they keep moving the goalposts. They were saying, you know, stop your nuclear program. They bombed the nuclear facilities.
And I'm sure that at the end of the day, the Iranians
Fordo, and Nevitz. They bombed those, but then after they bombed those, they're saying, oh, well, they seen how much damage that their ballistic missiles were doing, and they were like, oh, you can't have a ballistic missiles program either. You have to limit how far your missiles can go, and I think it was like 300 kilometers or something, just far enough to not be able to hit Israel. And anything further than that, but I mean, that's their main enemy. Like nobody to the east of them is a threat. All their enemies are to the west.
Is Iran attacking the U.S. military bases in the region and seeing it as its right to respond, also retaliatory actions against the Israeli territories? For the time being, we can say escalation is name of the game, and we're not sure how far it would go, hoping that diplomacy could once again pave the way for a sort of de-escalation, but the reality on the ground at the time being is far from that point.
Tahir Sadi there, live for us from Tehran. Mike Hanna is joining us now from Washington, D.C. Mike, just a few moments ago, we talked about Donald Trump's MAGA base and how they're criticising him for this action, how Congress is also criticising him, certainly on both sides of the aisle, or perhaps not that much from the Republicans. But the Iranian foreign minister there was just speaking. Donald Trump's also got an international problem here as well. Now, the Iranian spokesperson said this was a betrayal of the region. Now, Donald Trump has invested a lot in this region. He's talking about, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE. He does have a slightly different international diplomatic problem here as well, do you think?
Indeed, yes. Well, President Trump has put great stock in members of that particular region, remembering the efforts that he's made with what he calls the Abraham Accords to get wider spread recognition of Israel. And he believed he was succeeding to a certain extent. But something like this is going to put back such efforts, particularly with regard to what has become very strong allies of the U.S., such as Saudi Arabia, such as Qatar. And we've heard from Qatar in the course of the day being very strong about the operation going ahead and also about the Iranian retaliation for the U.S. and Israeli strikes. But this does discombobulate the equilibrium of what President Trump may have been attempting to do in the Middle East to get wider recognition of Israel and in that way to push through to what he claimed in his 20-point plan, which he thought would end the war in Gaza, would lead to the creation of a Palestinian state. Now, that is something, that longer-term aim is something which is now going to be put in real jeopardy. Not only is that going to be put in real jeopardy, but also the U.S. relations with the allies in the region, which it has become close to in recent years. So this goes far beyond the domestic problems that President Trump may face as a result of this decision to go to war, to conduct this operation with Israel. There's also an international component to it, which may prove very damaging to whatever aims President Trump has in terms of settling or getting greater peace within the wider Middle East.
Now, throughout the day, Mike, I've been hearing from Americans, I've been hearing from people in the region. The one thing is there's a disconnect here, because the one thing people in the region are saying is that this is a war on behalf of Israel. It's an action on behalf of Israel. What I'm hearing from Americans, from both, across the political spectrum, is that this worked in Venezuela and therefore it's going to work in Iran. It's an interesting kind of disconnect, but the spectre of Israel is there. Is this a war for Israel?
Well, that's what some of those in MAGA are in fact claiming, that this is not in U.S. interest. It may be in the interest of Israel, that if you try and effect regime change in Iran, that may be to the benefit of Iran, but it is not in U.S. interest. So, yes, there is that element to it, and those within the region as well, seeing it as direct U.S. support for Israel in that ongoing conflict with Iran. But that being said, President Trump has been...
Al-Udeid as well seems to be...
Children of Gaza. At least I know whenever Iran attacks them, Gaza is not suffering as much as it normally does. So alhamdulillah, that's a good thing as well.
Yeah, thanks for that, Hal. So I just feel that, I don't know, I mean, I do think that there is some strategy behind this, and with those military bases being cut, America is going to be a much more weakened America, and Netanyahu. I feel that he's the rogue one here. I mean, they're both rogue, of course, for what they've done, but as in, America's going to be much more weakened, but look at what he's doing as well, Netanyahu. He's put the siege back on Gaza, he's shut the Rafah crossing again, he's put it back to what it was on October the 6th. He's stopped, I think it's oil going to Egypt or something to punish them. So he's lashing out across the entire Middle East, and he's jeopardized the entire Middle East, right, to hold on to what he's got. They said this morning it's going to be a 4-day operation. I cannot see this lasting longer than that, so there's going to have to be some outcome. Because I understand what you're saying, Hos, but the thing is that I just cannot see that the world has got the stomach to watch Iran just being bombed, and and because Iran's principled, right? So I was saying this earlier on the space that Iran doesn't go for civilian targets and civilian casualties. There may be some as a result of what's happened, but not intentionally. Whereas you saw what Israel did. I was just looking, actually, Nathan sent me the video, and the final number at the school confirmed this morning is 108. There's 108 girls. And there's obviously so many people killed, and we're just looking at those figures. So I just don't think Iran will be able to sustain this.
I've got to be honest with you. Not only will Iran sustain it, Iran will be the person, just like at the day of the ceasefire, the 12-day ceasefire. Iran was the one that finally took the decision to have the ceasefire. And I want you to do me a favor. Listen to what Iran said to you. Iran has said that we will decide what happens. We will decide when we stop. It's not going to be Israel with its 4 days that it decides, or America with 7 days or 21 days. Iran has got enough missiles to make life the absolute misery that Gaza has suffered all across Israel. And the thing you've got to realize is this. Iran has got the nuclear weapon of oil. Not nuclear weapon, but the nuclear weapon of oil. I did a write-up that I sent to Myron some time ago. Iran has got 47 critical oil infrastructure they could target quite easily, and I'm talking about oil terminals, I'm talking about the refineries, I'm talking about the delivery systems, the pipelines and everything else. 47 critical systems. With 47 strikes on these things, 30% of the world...
They were just enriching their uranium to negotiating power from what I've seen on the internet and shit. They never actually wanted to create a nuclear bomb. I mean, who's to say that they're telling the truth? But I mean, I feel like if they wanted a nuclear bomb, they could have had a nuclear bomb already. I mean, there's a lot of things that come with having a nuclear bomb that you don't fuck with North Korea. You know North Korea's got hella nuclear bombs. You don't fuck with them. And I feel like if Iran had a nuclear bomb, we wouldn't be fucking with them either. I mean, at least their program was declared, and we actually knew what they had. Other places had bombs and nuclear bombs, and we don't even know how many, or if they are going to use them, or when they're going to use them, or anything. What you want, boy? Something to eat? Ain't got shit to eat.
Because there's a cascading effect of not having that oil in the market anymore, not having the flow of oil.
They fall in Palestinian areas, so be it, and we're still waiting to see if there was any damage or any casualties or injuries of that attack. Again, while in the last hour, the latest directive from the Home Command, the Israeli entity that deals with these alerts and sirens, the Home Front, was to leave the protected space. The directive was for Israelis to stay close to the protected areas.
Now, Nida, I want to talk about the occupied West Bank right now, because I've just been hearing a report. Perhaps you can confirm or indeed deny this report for us. But as this attack was taking place, as you say, from 8 a.m. local time this morning, the occupied West Bank towns and villages were cut off from each other. Is that true?
That is indeed true, Imran, and that reminds us of what Israel has done in June of last year, using the cover of the war here and the war on Iran to tighten the siege that already has been in place when it comes to Palestinians living in the occupied West Bank. Now, we are talking about more than 1,000 checkpoints, road mounts, roadblocks that have been put up by the Israeli forces, cutting Palestinian cities from one another. And whenever the Israeli forces feel like they can shut these gates and prevent Palestinians from having the bare minimum of their right to movement and access between cities. And since today's or yesterday's attack started, the Israeli forces have started shutting down certain checkpoints. Of course, we should say that people are already worried, already trying to stay in their homes as much as possible. Schools have been postponed until a later assessment later in the week. But still, there are some people who are stuck in certain cities who want to go home or want to take care of their businesses or even go to hospitals, and they remain at the mercy of the Israeli soldiers who control their basic rights, the very bare minimum of their ability to move from one place to another.
Nida Ibrahim there, live from Ramallah. Now, Iran has launched strikes on US assets across the region. Iranian drones have struck several residential buildings in Bahrain's capital. It's not yet known if there are casualties. And this was a scene earlier in the day when a missile hit Bahrain's capital, Manama. Authorities say the strike targeted the service sector at the US 5th Fleet headquarters. Kuwait's international airport was damaged in the Iranian drone attack. Authorities say a number of employees have been injured as a result. Kuwaiti officials say the situation's under control. And these are the scenes from the UAE. Iran has struck a Jebel Ali port in Dubai. While the port's not a formal military base, it is the busiest port in the Middle East and one of the most frequently used overseas ports of call for the US Navy, regularly hosting US aircraft carriers and other vessels. And in a separate incident, 4 people were injured after a ballistic missile attack on Dubai International Airport, one of the busiest airports in the world. The UAE government also denounced the strike, calling it a blatant attack involving Iranian ballistic missiles. Similar attacks were reported at other commercial airports in the region, including Kuwait International Airport, forcing closures and widespread flight cancellations. And there have been reports of an Iranian drone strike targeting Burj Al Arab in Dubai. Authorities confirmed the drone was intercepted and debris caused a minor fire on the hotel's iconic outer facade. No injuries have been reported. And the Qatari Defense Ministry says it's intercepted 63 missiles and 12 drones fired towards its territory. Officials say the attacks resulted in at least 8 injuries. 1 person is believed to be critically injured. 2 ballistic missiles reached the Al Udeid airbase, operated by US forces and home to the US Central Command. Qatar's foreign ministry says it has summoned the Iranian ambassador. Ibrahim Sultan Al-Hashmi is the Director of Media and Communications in Qatar's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He says Qatar reserves the right to respond to the attacks.
In the name of God the Merciful, the State of Qatar condemns in the strongest possible terms these ballistic missile attacks and considers this operation as a blatant violation of its sovereignty and the safety of its territories, and also a grave escalation that threatens the stability of the whole region. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has already affirmed in an official statement that it reserves its full right to respond in accordance with international law and with the Charter of the United Nations in proportion to the size of the attacks, in order to protect its sovereignty and to protect its higher interests.
Now let's cross over to Axel Zaimovic, who is live here in Doha. Axel, the missile defense system that Qatar put a lot of trust and a lot of money into has been working, but some things have got through, right?
Well, that's correct. It's according to official data, official statement coming from Qatar's defense ministry, where they said that 2 missiles managed to penetrate Qatar's air defense and target Al Udeid military base here in Doha. So the reason why, we don't know that, but what we know that the Patriot system may be deployed and during the day, especially in the morning and afternoon, when these attacks came in several waves. But what we also know that there's been a fall in the debris across the country, and what we understand that 8 people have been injured in these falling debris for now. So we don't know at what stages. We actually have a confirmation that 4 people have been released, discharged from hospitals, but also 4 people are still getting a proper medical treatment. But it is really important to mention that also one of the missiles targeted a radar system in Doha. To what damage, to what kind of damage sustained in that attack, we're still waiting for clarification from Qatari officials here in Doha.
Yeah, see. Now, Axel, there's been attacks across the region as well against.
Told you.
انجام دادید. ایران رو سربلند کردید. جمهوری اسلامی رو مانند همیشه پشتیبانی کردید و به قدرت اون افزودید. دشمنانی که در اظهارات خود، در برنامه‌ریزی‌های خود به دنبال تسلیم ملت ایرانند مایوس شدند. این کار بزرگ رو دیروز به توفیق الهی انجام دادید و خدای متعال اجر چنین حضوری رو و چنین حرکت عظیمی رو به ملت خواهد داد و اون عزت بیشتر، اقتدار بیشتر، استقلال کاملتر خواهد بود انشاءالله.
Told you, man.
سعی بشود
They'll say they got somebody in
که
there.
اتصال و انسجام ملی رو حفظ کنیم. هممون سعی کنیم. این انسجام ملی خیلی قیمت داره، خیلی با ارزشه. یک ملت بیان خیابان‌ها، یک حرف واحد، یک شعار واحد، یک مطلوب واحد رو تکرار کنند، خیلی با ارزش و نشون بدند عملاً که در صحنه حضور دارند و میتوانند.
See if somebody can translate this shit. So we are not the initiators of war. We do not seek to attack any country. However, anyone who seeks to attack us will cause harm or face a decisive blow. I mean, that's kind of the Muslim, that's like Muslim doctrine, bro. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. That's, I think all Muslims believe that. Yeah, I mean, he dipped to fucking Russia, man. They ain't gonna be able to do shit, bro. Grok don't even fucking know Grok swear, bro. They swear it's fake, and then they swear you just. These motherfuckers, man. Basically, he's not dead. He fucking. They missed his ass.
In the GCC generally.
Yeah, throughout the day, we've seen a large number of attacks, also coming in several waves. In Kuwait, for example, we've seen that the international airport in Kuwait has been targeted and damaged. And of course, there's
that he lived his life as a revolutionary. He was maybe the second or the third president in the history of the Islamic Republic, the second supreme leader. Before that, he was a dissident. He was an opposition figure, jailed. Also went through assassination attempts, several assassination attempts, and now he's announced as the second leader of Iran, and of course now he is being presented as the martyr of the Islamic Revolution.
That word is very important, isn't it? For legacy, for the Ayatollah, the supreme leader. If he's called a martyr, that means people will rally around him because this is an unjustified injustice that the Iranian supporters of him will see. It's an incredibly careful word that they've used, right?
Probably if I'm to get into Ali Khamenei's mind, he would love to be given such an end as a martyr, as the Iranian television announced him. Given the fact all the phases he passed through, and his, there are people who view him in a positive way. There are people who view him in a very negative way. But at the end, you cannot go away from the idea that he was, to the Islamic Republic and the Islamic Revolution, he was a kind of a very centric and instrumental personality before the revolution and after the revolution.
Stay there, because we will come back to you in just a second. I want to go to Tahid Asadi, who's joined.
Telling her that the Israeli government and everyone agrees that yes. Yeah, I mean, this is what they were looking to do, and it looks like they carried it out quite quickly.
So we're watching this as it all develops, but Alex, I mean, this is quite the development if they were able to strike this quickly.
Well, my concern is I'm not anti-Israel, but you got Huckabee 2 weeks ago with Tucker saying, "Oh, greater Israel, yeah, we're going to take it all." So now we're going to start attacking. Is Israel going to stop now if we beat Iran, or are they still be hungry?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I mean, they might still be hungry. I feel like that's how things kind of work these days with these folks. Is they don't have enough. It doesn't seem to be.
Their companies and their country and their oil going, but the world will hemorrhage when you have 22 million barrels or 30 million barrels. It's suddenly, it's an impossible thing to get ahead of. The head of is this: it will take you 10 years to build a proper refinery to replace the systems that are in Saudi Arabia. The only countries that can build.
Here. Press TV reposted it. There we go.
Make this nigga saying shit, bro. How you on the fucking channel?
I had to repost my original post.
48,000 people watching, nigga, and you ain't saying shit. Fuck. Looking at the fucking skyline and shit. Fuck is this guy?
Press TV says leader of Islamic Revolution Ayatollah Ali Khamenei martyred in U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran. Anyway, sorry that took a while, but multiple Iranian state media outlets have just in the last few minutes posted that the supreme leader has been killed. I mean, we knew it anyway, but, well, President Trump had posted it, Israel had been saying it, lots of major media outlets had been saying it, but now officially acknowledged by the Iranian government in Iranian press, in state media outlets, multiple. Yeah, I'll post a link to one of them, but there's plenty of them. Oh, also, yes, the national, it's also confirmed on Regime TV. Hold on.
امام علی
Hold on.
اطلاعات شریرانه
Oh
آمریکا.
my gosh, sorry. Everything is going wrong.
Hey, bro, how the fuck this thing got 48,000 people watching? 880.
Shin posted a clip from National Regime TV that also reported it.
Shit. Nobody else live.
So big news.
Sneako's live.
And trying to destroy the world. They say that to America. And then we see that so many of these protests, like the protests in Iran. Here's the second major argument that they want to get you to believe. Remember this, Americans in the chat. They want to get you to believe that all these protesters are being killed. It's so evil going on. Everybody in Iran, they hate the supreme leader. They hate the Ayatollah, right? Then Mike Pompeo, former deputy director of the CIA during Trump's first administration, what does he say when all these protests go on in Iran and you see they're firebombing masjids? He says that these protests in Iran